It's time for this week's episode of Brandon Sports Talk, featuring in-depth interviews from those who are trending in the world of athletics. And now, here's the host of Brandon Sports Talk, Brandon Pate.
Welcome back to Brandon Sports Talk. In today's episode, I have the privilege to interview the Findlay Oilers head women's basketball coach, Coach Michelle Durand. How are you doing today?
Great, Brandon. Thanks for having me.
Can you talk about how you knew that you wanted to get started in coaching in college women's basketball?
Well, it was a long, long time ago. I went to Bluffton, now University. It used to be Bluffton College, and I injured my knee there. And the year I injured my knee, I didn't play, and so I was able to coach at a local school in the area, and it really got me interested in coaching, and I loved it. And at the time, when I graduated, Bluffton's job was opening up, so it kind of all, fell into place.
What was that like getting to play at Bluffton University?
It was great to play at Bluffton. It's a nice small school. It's just 30 minutes south here of Findlay. I grew up in Toledo, so it was only an hour away from home. I really liked the coach at the time. She's been a mentor of mine, and just a lot of fun and a really great experience. I met a lot of wonderful people there.
During your collegiate time, what were some of your accomplishments on the playing side?
I don't. It's been so long. I mean, it's been over 30 years ago since I played, Brandon. I don't remember a lot of like just physical accomplishments. Like I wasn't that great a player. I was just okay. Like I said, I hurt my knee, and I started, and we were okay. I think for me, what was most memorable is just the people that I met and the experience that I had playing in college.
How is it like getting to put on that jersey and then eventually become the coach there?
It was a pretty surreal experience for me. I actually coached when I first started coaching at Bluffton. I was only 23, and I coached two girls that were on the team with me. So it was kind of strange, but it was certainly an honor.
How is that feeling like becoming the head coach of your alma mater?
Um, it was a great feeling. I really wanted, since I went to Bluffton, I wanted to be successful and wanted to work really hard for them. And I believed in that university, so it was an honor.
How is that feeling like getting to build upon the legacy as a player that you had going into being a head coach there?
Um, I don't know if I thought about it so much as I just thought about, I just want to make this program the best program in division. We were actually NAI at the time in our league, and I just really focused on getting to work and bringing the best people to Bluffton that I could. And I didn't really think about building any kind of legacy at the time.
What was that feeling like, as you said, being at NIA school and then going to Division two?
Well, again, Bluffton went Division 3 actually while I was still there. So we were NAIA, then we went to Division 3, and that was certainly a unique experience. And the Division 3 experience is much different than the Division 2 experience, and that, at Division 2, I can now give some athletic scholarships, so that's sort of exciting. But it's also great coaching the women at Division 3 because they love to be there, and they're not really getting any money to compete. They're doing it for the love of the game.
What was that feeling like getting to coach at your alma mater and be on the sidelines of your alma mater?
All I can say, it was a wonderful experience, and something that obviously I started my career. I've since been, now I'm at the third place, and honestly, the three places I've been have all been wonderful so far. So it was great.
How is that like, obviously getting the job at Ohio Northern and becoming their head coach?
Again, it was quite an honor to go to Ohio Northern. It was a very short trip from Bluffton to Ohio Northern, just 10 minutes apart. But it was good for me to go somewhere different and be somewhere different. The people at Ohio Northern were wonderful, and I enjoyed my experience. I had a lot of really great young women who played for me, and overall, it was just a wonderful experience.
How is that feeling like leaving your alma mater to go to a different school like Ohio Northern?
It was hard at the time because we were sort of rivals because they were so close together. But it was again for me a growing experience. I needed to do something different and to be somewhere different. So, while it was hard, it was rewarding.
Of course, during your time at Ohio Northern, what was it like taking them to 4 NCAA tournaments?
Oh, it was awesome. There's nothing like being in an NCAA tournament. It's an experience I hope that, hopefully we can bring here to Findlay. But it was a wonderful experience. Our kids loved it. It's something, again, I'll never forget.
What was that feeling like taking them to 3 Elite 8 experiences?
Um, Again, awesome. I don't know how else to describe it. That the year we went to the Elite Eight, we got to play at home even for 4 rounds of the tournament. So we packed the gym, and I think for the women on the team, it was just great because they got to play in front of a packed house, and we were close. We of course wanted to win and go to the Final Four, but you know, we ran into a better team at the time, but it was again an unforgettable experience.
Of course, during that time playing 3 home games during the Elite 8, what was that like getting to play on your home court at Ohio Northern?
It was great. I mean, it was, we got to have a lot of students there. The town really backed us. The gym there is huge, so to pack it is pretty incredible. So, and it was nice for the girls to see all the support that they got, and then, it was good for us to be able to sleep in our own beds and be at home and in familiar territory.
Of course, as you've said, what has it been like traveling just a few cities to come to Finland?
It's so far, it's only been a few months since I've been at Findlay, but it's been another really good, challenging experience. I've actually lived in Findlay the whole time I coached at Ohio Northern, so I know a lot about the town and I know a lot about the university. But we've just gotten into workouts, and so far it's been a lot of fun.
What has that been like? Obviously, as you said, you currently lived in Findlay before getting the job, so you didn't have to, say, move and pick up houses.
It's made the transition a lot smoother, I think, just because I know a few people here, and now instead of driving a half hour to work, I get to drive 5 minutes. So it's been pretty good. I don't have to spend a ton of money in gas, and it takes me a really short time to get here.
How is that feeling like when you got officially announced as the new head coach?
It was exciting, and I guess exciting would be the best word, and just really really happy.
Of course, what was that visit like, getting to visit the university and feel at home at the university?
The interview experience was great. I got to meet a lot of people in the department. The AD at Brandy Larita has been nothing but welcoming. I've really enjoyed all the coaches here. Jim Givens and David Buck, the assistant ADs, have been wonderful to me. I really can't say anything but positive things about the whole experience.
What does a typical game day look like for you as head coach?
Well, a game day, I think, it will probably be a little bit different here because our game times are a lot of times double headers with the men. So for us, the students will go to class if they have class during the day. If we're at home, we'll have a walkthrough that we'll do at some point during the day, and then a team meal together, and then we'll go ahead and play it at 5:30. If it's during the week, at 1 o'clock on Saturday.
Of course, what is that feeling going to feel like, getting to play a doubleheader with the men's basketball team?
Oh, I think it'll be awesome. I mean, the men have been great at Findlay, so I've been looking forward to watching them play and watching, Coach do his thing, and it'll be good. I think we can support each other, and it'll be a lot of fun.
What are some of your future plans as the head coach?
Well, I think, right now we're just getting into workouts. We really want to develop a, family type culture with our team. I want our women to have a great experience playing at the University of Findlay. I want them to have memories that they can share with their own kids someday. Certainly we want to win basketball games, but I think right now we're just working on the process part of things.
Can you talk about, of course, what has it been like hiring alumni such as Haley?
Oh, Haley has been awesome. I mean, first of all, she was a great player here, so it's good to bring back somebody who's had a positive winning experience here. But second of all, she has a tireless work ethic. She has really helped a lot in getting me to understand the Division II level. And from the recruiting standpoint, she's been invaluable because she knows what types of players we need to be successful here. So I couldn't ask for anybody any better than Haley.
Of course, what are some of your future plans as head coach?
Well, again, I want to make sure that we establish a positive culture here. We want to be unselfish. We want to work really hard and play great defense. Offensively, we want to be balanced. I want the student athletes who go through our program to have a wonderful experience that they can share and remember their whole life.
Can you talk about, of course, the recruitment process and what that's been like for you as a new head coach?
Well, recruiting's always been, it's a lot of work. You got to get out on the road. You got to watch kids. You got to contact kids. We've had over 20 visits already on campus from this summer through now. We have 6 kids who have verbally committed to us for next year. So, and we really, really like them. So, recruiting is a grind. It's all about, getting out and seeing kids and getting them in campus and just working really hard.
What does the official visit look like for those prospective student athletes coming to Finland?
So when they come to Findlay, they first meet us. We usually do some things. We show them the gym. We show them, what a locker would look like if they were here. We take them on a campus tour. They usually meet with somebody in their area of interest major. They meet with admissions. It's usually a 3 to 4 hour process. We have lunch with them, and we, of course, talk all about what it would be like for them to be a player here at Findlay.
What are some of the things that you look at on the road in these prospective student athletes?
Well, we want them to have, the first and foremost, really good grades. They obviously have to be talented, so they have to be, really good basketball players. We look at what we need in terms of positions, whether we need guards or we need a post player, we need a forward. We look around, at their overall game. Are they good athletes? And then we, of course, I think most important, their character has to be strong. We want good, strong character kids in our program.
How's it going to feel like the first game day getting to step on that court as the head coach?
I'll be really, really excited, but I'll be probably pretty nervous.
Of course, who are some of the teams that you faced each week in this upcoming season in your conference?
Our conference is really, really strong. I think Ashland has always been a perennial power, where they've won a few national championships. I know Walsh last year was the team who won the league, so they're always strong. Ohio Dominicans in the conference. Tiffin is a close to home rival. And Northwood up in Michigan now has been added, and they're a really strong team. Pretty much every time we step on the court, we've got to be ready to play, or we're not going to see a good result.
Of course, what is the feeling going to feel like getting to coach against Tiffin?
It'll be exciting, I think coaching against any other team is exciting, but when you're coaching against your rival, it's always a little bit more to it.
Of course, what is that feeling going to feel like getting to coach those non-conference games?
Well, the non-conference games, I think, again, we're going to have some tough games. We have to go up to Davenport and Grand Valley, and Grand Valley's been a national power. So they're going to be really tough. I mean, a lot of the area teams that we're going to play, I mean, we really don't have anybody who we can just say we're going to beat on the schedule. So, every time we step on the floor, we're going to have to be ready to go.
What has it been like creating that game day culture and traditions so far?
So far, so good. We're not very far along. We just hit September, so we haven't really established any real traditions yet, but we will, and it'll be exciting to do so.
What advice would you give those prospective student athletes that are in high school looking to become college basketball players?
Well, be good students. You've got to work at your game off the, out of season. You've got to stay in shape, and you've got to be, really unselfish. I really want people who want to come and be a part of a team.
Of course, what advice would you give those college basketball players that are entering in college their first few years?
Your first year is your toughest. It's like a roller coaster a little bit. You've got to get used to, being in college. For one thing, it's much different than high school. You've got to get used to new teammates, new coaches. So, I always just tell them, take it one day at a time, and try to be patient, because, things will get better. It just takes time.
What advice would you give those future, let's say, seniors, juniors that are looking to enter the WNBA draft and so forth, such as the Athletes Unlimited too?
Well, the WNBA has been wonderful for women's basketball. I don't know at our level that we're going to have too many players that go into it, but it's certainly a dream. And if you want to play at that level, it's very, very difficult. So you better be able to work. You better work at your game a lot to get to that point. But just like on the men's side in the NBA, not very many people make it there. And for me, I think it's more important that the kids get their degrees here and worry about their future. I don't know that we're going to have too many WNBA players that come to Findlay.
Of course, what advice would you give those people that are looking to get into college coaching, whether being assistant coaches or head coaches?
Well, you got to start at the bottom. I mean, you probably need to really know your craft. So you need to know basketball, obviously. But I think overall, you got to really love working with young people and be willing to work. It's a lot of work coaching, and it's not an 8 to 5 job. It's 7 days a week a lot of times, and you're not going to work normal hours. So you've got to be ready to work. You've got to know your craft. You've got to love to work with young people and teach. I think those are all important things to think about if you want to coach.
Of course, what advice would you give those new head coaches that are looking to get started and balance, obviously, family life and being a head coach of a program?
Balance is the key. It's always the key. We talk about that with our own program. So you have to be balanced. So work smart, make sure you're getting things done when you're in the office. And when you're not in the office, then you need to be with your family. So you need to be present wherever you are.
What advice would you give those future head coaches that are looking to get started?
Well, again, I would say, just again, work hard, go watch how other coaches do things, be willing to learn from others and really get working.
That's great advice. Where can my listeners find you at on social media along with the Findlay women's basketball program?
Well, Brandon, I do not have personally any social media, but they can always email me or text me. Our Findlay basketball team does have social media, and if you go to our webpage, you can find us on that webpage. But I'm not a big social media person. Actually, I realize I may have to change at some point.
Thank you again, Coach Michelle Durand, for your interview, and best of luck in your future as the new head women's basketball coach at Findlay.
Thank you, Brandon.
You can find Brandon Sports Talk on Facebook at Brandon Sports Talk, Instagram at Brandon Sports Talk, Twitter at Talk_Brandon, and you can find me on YouTube at Brandon Sports Talk. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you again, Coach Michelle Durand, for your interview, and best of luck in your future.
Thank you.
You've been watching Brandon Sports Talk. Please feel free to like, share, and subscribe to Brandon Sports Talk on social media and on YouTube.